From your perspective, this is not okay, is it?
Of course it's not okay. We're a public institution. It certainly raises valid questions. I think that's why we're trying to get to the very bottom of this situation.
First, it was at Scotland Golf Junket. Now, once again, public money has been mismanaged in Loboland. Ground zero, the pit, UNM's unique basketball arena. No, not here on the court, up here in the skyboxes, the suites. It involves hundreds of thousands of dollars, reckless accounting practices, and a 2-page list that reads like a New Mexico who's who. It includes athletes, business executives, and civic leaders.
To understand what's happened, you need to go back 8 years to the pit's $60 million renovation. It included expanded concourses, a new facade, and 40 luxury skyboxes. Lobo fans who shell out as much as $45,000 a year can enjoy a season of Lobo basketball in the comfort of a private suite. Skybox rental fees help pay for the renovation.
But here's the rub. You see, not everyone who rented the private suites actually paid the hefty price tag. In fact, some got a free ride courtesy of UNM. Whether by design or simply sloppy bookkeeping, athletic department bean counters failed to collect more than $430,000 in skybox rental fees.
All of the discrepancies occurred during Paul Krebs' tenure as athletic director. UNM documents show since 2010, 42 private suite debts were ignored by UNM. The list includes former Lobo star Kenny Thomas, who owes $40,000 for his 2014 use of suite number 21. It is unclear whether Thomas was ever billed for the debt. Also on the list, an Albuquerque high-tech firm called Lavu. The company owes more than $42,000 for its use of a private suite in 2014. Lavu CEO at the time, Andy Lim, refused comment and hung up. UNM claims a company called Integrated Control Systems owes more than $67,000 for rental of skybox number 19. Why wasn't this debt collected? Well, we don't know, but UNM records include a reference to, quote, a conversation with P. Krebs. A spokesman for owner Steve Chavez says the company was never invoiced and the debt is likely a mistake.
It's very serious. It's public money.
Janice Ruggiero is the newly named interim athletic director.
We're a public institution and we are held responsible to suite holders, to our fans, to taxpayers, that we're good stewards of the money and we're responsible for the money.
Has that happened in this case?
Well, clearly not, because we didn't collect all the money in which we should have.
During the 2014 basketball season, suite number 14 was rented by Consolidated Solar Technologies. And according to UNM records, the firm owes $21,000. However, company exec Jerry Mosier tells us he was never billed for the expense.
UNM claims businessman Nestor Romero owes $80,000 for skybox use in 2010, 11, and 12. Romero says UNM never sent him a bill, but he will pay whatever he owes. Former Lobo basketball star J.J. Griego is on the hook for $9,000 in connection with his use of suite number 38. UNM claims it sent an invoice in 2015. However, there's no evidence to show anyone tried to collect the debt.
Several individuals have said they were never invoiced. How could the athletic department forget about more than $400,000 in debt?
Well, I believe that the athletic department had entrusted this responsibility to the Lobo Club and then had not monitored it as closely as they should have.
Somebody clearly dropped the ball on this.
I think that's correct. Maybe more than one.
And it's not just sports figures and corporate execs. In 2014, Farmington attorney Jack Fortner rented skybox number 8. Athletic department records indicate Fortner owes the university more than $13,000.
That's news to Fortner, who says he was never invoiced for the debt. Now, Jack Fortner is not just some Farmington attorney. In fact, around campus, Jack Fortner is actually pretty well known. He was president of UNM's Board of Regents. Now, Fortner told News 13 the first he heard about the outstanding debt was just last week.
On Monday, Fortner wrote a check for the full amount. And then there's Suite 10, reserved for the exclusive use of UNM's Board of Regents.
The athletic department claims the Regents failed to pay $30,000 in 2015 and 2016 rental fees. However, UNM officials admit they never sent the university's governing board a bill. 2 weeks ago, the debt was quietly paid. The Board of Regents was never invoiced for that.
Correct.
How does this happen?
That's a difficult one to explain because I personally took care of those funds being budgeted at the direction of the Regents. Why we were not invoiced, I really can't answer. But I hope you'll note that we did pay promptly as soon as we knew about it.
The athletic department is now making a concerted effort to collect all past due accounts.
I believe anytime anybody's dealing with money, we all need to be held accountable. Athletics needs to be held accountable, the Lobo Club needs to be held accountable because it is public money.
If you find out that there was an intentional effort not to invoice individuals who owed money to the university, will heads roll?
Certainly, I believe that there will be disciplinary action. I don't believe that we're anywhere near understanding where this went wrong.
I believe we owe the suite holders an apology for our poor business practices, but I also believe we owe the fans an apology. At the end of the day, it's public money, and we're responsible for it, and we need to be good stewards of it and hold ourselves accountable.
Larry Barker, KRQE, News 13.